and go.
Hello, and welcome back to my dread plane. How is everyone this evening? Just a quick reminder, if you're watching or playing and you're able, I recommend having the lights off. It makes it oh so much more fun. So, which brave volunteer would like to recount the events of the previous session? Any takers?
I did the last one.
Hello.
I fully don't remember, so.
Very well. Large friend Hadron.
Well, the session began in the house of the Burgomaster. We found his corpse and was requested to move it to a proper burial site due to the fact that the dead must not be allowed onto the surface, especially by the time that the sun would set. We aided in this, encountering a bizarrely crazed priest and his apparent son, whom screamed from the depths of the church, "Father, I'm starving!"
It's wonderful how you do that with your voice.
I have great rage. From there, we observed the parent son and apparent heir of the Burgomaster arguing about whether or not she should be taken away for a specific reason not yet revealed to the party. We then proceeded to say sod this, and we moved to the next town. However, we did hear the crying of a woman within the town, and after efforts made on the door, we approached in and found a woman crying over the doll, apparent of her daughter.
Apparently.
The woman claimed that her daughter had disappeared. Oh, to also follow, the priest's son had been led by a wizard into the castle of Strahd, and along with other rebellions of this group, of this town, and of this realm, it failed, and he returned not quite himself. From there, we traveled out, following our map, and we decided to only use the roads to lead us all the way to the next town. We encountered upon a bridge, just before the riverside, a man, a misty form of blood red in color, whom we slew with 2 strikes, and from there we now resume.
Excellent. Very well done.
Incidentally, for the future, Nemo, whenever you've got a chance, can you make a handout of the map for us?
I can also just put the map up.
Thanks.
Since
Dang,
located,
the Slavic
and
words.
when you request, I will put the map up on the stream so everyone can see what's being talked about, including our viewers. I think that's the best way to perform it.
There we go.
What was the D icon on the map? Because I don't think I've got that written down. Don't remember seeing that last time.
Where is it?
It's the
Really,
river.
Adrian? Really?
Yes,
not
because you're clearly in
even-
character.
Perhaps you can ask. But anyway, let me just knock over any quick announcements. I would just like to congratulate Blue and Spook on their new property purchase. I must admit, I am quite comfortable living in their dark places in the. But I am sure they won't mind having an elder god in there. Anyway,
As long as you
I
don't
thought it
mind
was
the
mold.
as long as you don't mind the mold killer we sprayed there earlier.
Mold killer.
anyway,
I have an
Oh my
announcement.
god.
yes, what would you like to announce?
A transcription for those who cannot see.
Run,
It reveals
See?
the screen
Yeah.
that says "Run, bitch."
I wrote that on the first page that I missed, so it's useful. Just in case I ever need to write anything down when Nemo takes someone down to DM Whispers, I can just be like, "Run, bitch!"
My page just says
Run!
small.
Okay, so We said we weren't going to take the woman. We weren't going to take the Burgermeister's sister with us, and we didn't want to investigate the house with the crying woman in. We just wanted to get the hell out of Dodge.
We
wasn't
did
it?
investigate the house with the crying woman, but we didn't get a location as to where her daughter went to. We poked her head in. We
You
spoke
poked
to her.
your head in.
Hello.
We listened from downstairs and we ain't going over there.
Basically.
I'm just gonna hold this grown bitch sign.
Well, I can't read common, so.
Alright, now we're heading out.
Alright.
Over the smoldering
Yes,
remains
yes.
of this blood misfortune.
About what the D represents, it represents the river. You do not know the name of the river, but there you are.
D River.
Yes, for this town, that river.
It's a long
So-
way
Fuck!
down to the bottom of the river.
You currently
What's the river
stand.
with an egg?
Guess whose playlist that's on?
You currently stand at the start of the bridge, a coin in front of you. What would you all like to do?
Not touch
Avoid
the
the coin.
coin. No,
No.
do not touch the coin. The last time that coin was touched, we got a giant crocodile.
Ooh.
No.
Are you saying that is a bad thing?
No, we lost
I'm
a
still weighing
Absolutely.
my options.
we lost a bird.
to say.
And we gained a ewe. We don't know what happens if we let a small one touch it, so we're not going to let her touch.
Let the biggest one touch it.
No.
Let's just move on from the coin.
Because Daz hasn't got a second character to reroll, fucker. Piss off.
You're also probably not the biggest one.
I'm 8 foot.
How big is a lizard boy?
Not
He's not 8 foot.
Come.
I'm just doing
Fine.
All
Wait.
of this is irrelevant.
According to the route that we've marked out, we're going to apparently head in between this small outcropping of forest and a larger part of the Sphalic Woods. Is that the route we're going to take?
Yeah,
Or
we were gonna
do
take
you
the-
feel that you can take us through the forest quicker, Mordecai?
I think we were going to take
I'd
the
rather not.
shorter route.
We'll go
I think
start
we were
again.
very
Remember
specifically
what we-
advised to avoid.
Yes, we were told to advise it due to
Wolves and bats.
wolves,
Ah,
wolves,
yes.
bats, and worse things into the forest. And we should definitely not camp near the woods if we have to travel. We should try to get as close to an opening as we can.
We also agreed we were going to try and stick to the river where you all forgot.
Well, we can only stick to the river so much. It's either forest, road, or river. So we'll take the
Hence
road.
why I said wherever possible.
I think we worked out last time that we can just about make it to the first town before
Yes, I seem to remember.
dark. Yeah.
So let us
Worse,
move along.
the bad times.
This is a bad place.
The
I
darker
like the bad
times.
place.
Okay.
In the dark times, the Tarask fellow.
Let's head out then. Mordecai, do you want to take point? Seeing
Not
as how
really.
you can track and fly and know what you're doing in the wilderness.
Wait, you can fly?
He has wings.
Do you not see the wings?
Pretty
You've
No,
been
I-
on drug. You've
I
been
have-
on stoner cookies
have
for
big
about
fuck-
5
big
hours.
fuck
You're
off
fine.
like wings.
Thrak just takes a step back, just be like, shit, those are real!
These aren't just for show.
You are completely removed.
Your new
from the
nickname is
effect of
Chicken
the
Wing.
cakes now.
Pretty wings.
Chicken wings.
Pretty.
Yes, and then, let's see. Sarah's cookie. Yes. And I'll come up with more for you later. Anyway.
I am quite curious what you want to call me. As he
If he
zooms
calls
over.
me a fucking prawn cracker, I'm calling racist.
Well, now you have to be called one because that's just funny.
He's juice.
Let's.
If we're done with this,
Juice.
Lead the way, Marin.
Yeah, either way.
I'll happily lead if you would like.
No, there's a river here. She is
After you.
water based. Lead the way.
You can hear waves speak in all your mind saying, Princess, this is a interesting lot you try.
I am no princess, whoever said that.
Although I am flattered.
I mean, I
Although I am now picturing myself in a big frilly dress, and I like the idea. I shall lead because I have the map.
And Hadrian, may I make a survival check to lead us? Sorry.
Well, before you do, as you've been having this conversation,
Balls.
a cart rolls up with
Row,
a
row,
very
row.
with a very well dressed in very bright red and yellow colours. By now, you probably recognise this as one of the Vistani. She seems to be bringing goods over to Barovia, the village, that is, not the estate.
What was her name? sorry?
She's bringing it to the village of Barovia.
Oh.
She sees you, and she smiles and waves at you, and motions a horse to stop the cart, which she's walking beside, by the way. It is only a small cart with a fairly small
Hello.
horse, not quite pony-sized, but not a big horse by any. Welcome. I can't say I've seen you here before.
We are new.
I can see that. Tell me, where are you traveling to? Are you looking for the village? It's just up ahead.
That will not be necessary. We know where we're going.
We are looking for the village of Valaki, but we have a map, thankfully.
Most excellent, most excellent. I'm a traveller myself, you see. Do you hail from anywhere particularly interesting?
Nope.
Forest.
Normality.
The Great Forest is where I hail from.
A swamp.
Well, my name is Vale, and I travel the world, and I play games. Not so much here. Yes, games. They're quite fun, but of course, I won't lie, I do swindle people in these games. I'm a gambler, you see, only with a little less gambling on my side. Of course, you know, this land is a safe haven. I don't gamble with people here because, well, nobody can leave, so word would spread far too quickly. But I do enjoy playing games for fun sometimes. Would anyone like to play a game
Yeah.
before I... Oh, you are a
I
cute little
would,
one.
Yeah,
I would ask how long would a game take to play because we need to get to Valaki before night.
Not long at all, I assure you. And I'll put in a little reward for you. It won't be much because, and there'll be no money down on your part. Don't worry. But we'll play a game of. So, shall you be the player, little one?
Yeah. Game.
I pat her head.
Go ahead, you may play, sir.
Yay.
Alrighty then. And she pulls she goes into a cart and checks the size view and pulls out a tiny little box and places it on the ground and sits down best she can at the side of the box and starts placing some coins.
Ooh.
Now, normally, I would split the wager, if you will, with somebody, and but not in this case. All you gain in this game is yours to keep. Now, the idea of this game is that we're going to pick up coins, and you see as she carefully puts down 12 different coins. It appears 11 of them are copper, but you notice at the very end it is in fact a platinum piece. Now, you are allowed to help her if you so wish, but there are particular rules to this game, and it must be played appropriately.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you see all these coins here. We're going to take turns in taking some of these coins. You may take any number of coins between 1 and 4. And the goal of the game, of course, is to try and get the platinum piece at the end. You, my little friend, shall make the first move.
Sarah looks confused, and then she just reaches forward and takes the platinum coin and goes, "Win!"
I don't think that's how
Clever
you're supposed to
little
play,
girl.
little one.
We generally go left to right, but I don't know why not.
Now, if that's the way the game should be played, then we should learn how to play it properly, shouldn't we?
Aww. Put it back.
She flips you a platinum coin. Says, "You keep that one for being a clever little." Now, we do go left to right. So, how
That
many
means we
coins?
start over here.
I would suggest taking 4.
I would suggest.
I'd take 4.
You do indeed take 4 of the. And for some reason, my thing is on the wrong layer. There we go.
I've just realised the error in what I said.
Yeah. You
The
forward.
math being like, well,
I know the correct answer now was 3. Never mind.
Sarah's not smart, she just listens to what she was told.
I would
Says,
suggest.
"Oh,
what
a very
she
good
did.
move. Now you get to keep those coins. That is how the game is properly played. So you keep those copper coins to yourself. Now I will take 3 coins. Now it's your turn.
I made a grave error.
This is a clever game.
Sarah takes 2 coins.
But now I have the option to take up to 4 coins. So I will take these last. And it appears I am the winner of this particular game. And I'm sure you're all clever little clogs. You can see how this game is somewhat biased to the person who goes. Anyway, it was fun playing with you.
Very fun.
Just to ask of my own curiosity, could you choose to not take any coins? So if it came to that end turn, you say, I wish to take no coins. So the other person has to try to take it.
A very another clever thought. But I will leave that to your imagination.
Thank you, that was quite fun to observe.
Sarah stands
well,
and
Sarah.
she proudly displays her handful of 6 copper. She's like,
And 1 platinum.
yeah! And 1 platinum. She's like,
He just
yeah!
pat, pat, pat. You did very well. You keep those coins in your pocket now. You weren't.
Very good girl. Anyway, I won't keep you. I have these goods to deliver. If you want to see the other Vistani, there is a camp just up the road if you take a northerly approach to the fork up ahead. There is some people there who may guide you to anything. We actually have
take
a
out
great
my-
fortune. We actually have a great fortune teller there at the moment. We are lucky to.
Ooh. Might I ask?
Yes, Madam Eva. She is quite good at what she does. You had a question before I left?
He just points to the map, so we just follow up by the river this way rather than going by the Burrow Wood.
Yes, here, let me just... Alright, now, let me just mark it on your map for you. There you go. Right there. It is the Tsar Pool.
Thank you so much. You are very helpful and a good sport.
Well, I make plenty of money as I do some shifty dealings in the outside. But I must say, it's been a while since I've been able to travel out there. Although as Vistani can normally travel somewhat freely, there is an ebb and tide to the mist. And it seems it's been quite ebbed for a while. No matter. Do your best not to fall into the Ivlis River. The bridge is quite sturdy, but there is a few gaps here. Anyway, have a good one.
What happens to those who fall in?
They get wet. And it is quite cold, good sir.
Okay, that makes sense.
I am assuming if you're travelling out here, you are well equipped to deal with some of the nastier things in the woods and all that, but even then, stick to the
Hopefully.
roads, but I'm sure you know. Anyway, good day.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. And she trotters on down in your ear saying, "Come on, Spunky, keep going."
Spunky!
That's the name of the horse, apparently.
I'm sorry, the only way you could kill me more, Nemo, is that if she had a camel drawing the fucking cart.
You know that fucking camel's the end boss of this campaign.
No, the camel's in Madame Eve's camp. Bet you anything. It's like her personal.
The horse is called Spunky, and that's what we'll call it for the day.
No, you travel. Although I've lost my chart for travel speed. Where did I put it?
Beat it.
We can move about 600 minutes of distance every 30 foot.
I think I have figured out how that game works.
Throwing it back.
Oh dear God!
I'm glad you
Danny
figured out
G's
that
in
game.
between.
Nim is actually a classic mathematical.
I know my dad fucking loves pulling that shit on me. He's like, here.
You're familiar with that game, I see.
I'm gonna do that
Alright,
game with my niece
so
now.
You
Drives people
move
insane.
along. Well, I desperately try to find travel pace and fail. From
Travel page in the player's handbook.
is it? No wonder I couldn't fucking find it. I'm looking at the DMs.
12 miles,
You're welcome.
8 hours or something. I don't remember.
12 miles every 8 hours sounds right to me.
I
Yeah,
don't think I
and
made that up.
Page
Decently
180. Page 182.
So you pro tip DM a bit when you don't know what the fuck you're on about.
Try it and test it, it works. Especially if you
Yeah.
forget, you know, the plot of your own campaign.
Ooh,
Move.
the page on multiclassing.
It was 24.
Spook now!
It's
Come back into the light.
24 miles.
So I
away.
take it you are in fact moving at a normal pace. You can of course try shortcuts and whatnot by using survival checks if you
No.
so wish, but that is entirely up to you.
What is my survival skill like?
We currently.
Let's stick
Note
to the
if
road.
you are using the survival, yes, if you're sticking to the road, that would not be a survival check.
We're
That is
currently
just
in
straight
no
up.
rush, so we should travel at a steady pace.
We've been told that
Okay.
we'll be able to get there. Hopefully, at a normal pace, we'll be able to get there.
Okay, so you move along, and
Give a
let's
bit of
see.
light. Hadrian will usually have him produce flame just like hovering in his hand because it doesn't have to be thrown. It can just be.
That is a very important, my dear friend.
I'm saying at the back of the group, as far away from the flame as possible.
Yes, can I get an order of position?
I imagine I might be either first or second because I have the quote unquote torch and I'm got.
As close to the back as Mordecai will let me be.
Probably
Which
right
is-
behind Hadrian.
Which is the one from the back for you, girls.
Don't worry, it's only about 6 seconds of travel, Carlos. You're fine.
More
Actually,
time
go
will be
in
at
the
the back.
middle then.
Now, who was leading this group? Did you say so?
Hadrian.
Hadrian.
I'm sorry, I've got
Any
flame in
time
one
Down to
hand,
the
mapping it.
it.
Can you roll me a d12 plus 8?
What the fuck does that mean?
Sounds like a D20.
With a minimum roll of 9.
A d12 plus a d8, sorry. My bad. Roll
Ah,
that again.
17, a prime number. You die!
17 is my age, what?
This isn't the dark room.
Excellent.
You will find yourself in dark rooms inside of Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Blue's face. It was just like doubt.
Nemo just flipped a coin.
That's
Both
perception.
sides were
check.
bad.
Excellent.
Hey guys, fun
excellent.
fact: my passive perception is also my AC.
I don't know whether that's a good or a bad
Guys.
thing.
Guys, you roll a d4. You know what that fucking means.
Someone's getting a fucked up dream.
But we have a bigger party.
They do.
Anyway, you're traveling along the road, and Wave takes this opportunity to inquire a couple of things. I'm not sure I've been properly introduced to all of you, at least not by name.
I don't believe we've been introduced in appearance.
My name is Wave, and I am as you see. I am what they would call a royal weapon ray, or a weapon fish, if you.
What the fuck?
I believe that raises more questions than it answers.
We are not a common species, and in truth, what they call the royal weapon ray that most people would see is actually a domesticated breed by the tribe. I am particularly unique in that I was sort of enchanted, if you will, by a group of they were locked up by the sea gods for injustices against the ocean. In the aim of redemption, they put some magical elements to me, and then the Triton gatekeepers transported me to be delivered to one of the royal family. I must say I was expecting to be in the ocean when I was delivered to you, Princess.
You are a princess?
To be in the ocean.
She carries herself quite well, but really, you are a princess?
Princess!
You don't talk after.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. You cut out.
I just heard don't.
Yeah, we got
That's
done.
the overall takeaway.
That's the general theme.
You don't have to sound so surprised.
I mean, you don't look like one.
Oh, so you're not a regular shrimp. You're a royal shrimp. Good, good. Tastes much better.
Call me a
Call me son one more time.
What's wrong with calling you a shrimp?
a number of things.
I would not poke at this beehive.
What time?
Mordecai.
What's wrong with calling you a devil?
I generally only serve
think-
those who serve the sea gods, and you do it in such a roundabout. Not that I'm complaining, of course.
It's not an ideal either.
You'll keep cutting out, sorry.
God damn it, I get a new mic and nothing changes.
That just means it's your internet.
Hey. This is not an ideal situation for me either.
I see. I'm afraid much of my magical abilities, I've been in my shell a bit longer than I was expecting, I feel. I'm sure that will recover in time if you're patient with me.
Take all the time you need, my friend.
Thank you very much. As you are saying this, you come up to the fork in the road.
Map. That way.
Map. You're on the map.
That way.
I wish Marin.
I wish Marin. That's all
God
we heard.
damn it! God fucking damn it!
I think the problem is you're a bit quieter. Whenever you're louder, it seems to be fine.
She's going for atmosphere.
Yeah,
I know,
speaking
but
the
she
Royal
always
Council
does.
voice,
Turn
that'll
up
help.
Right.
sensitivity.
Is this better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I said I wish Marin knew what Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh
Winnie the Pooh
was.
Okay, as you come to the crossroad,
Oh
an
bother.
old wooden gallows.
Ooh.
Gallows. Oh bother.
Just realised I'm still on the theme. Much better. An old wooden gallows creaks in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia Village to the east, Vizier Pool to the northwest, and Ravenloft and Valaki to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope across from the gallows, a low wall climbing in place. Partially enclosed a small plot of graves shrouded by fog.
Hadrian just kind of like puts the hand over Cerbit. Don't be looking at that.
What is?
It's where bad people get put.
Sometimes.
Didn't know bad
Oh,
people.
What direction was the Sir pool in again, sorry?
The Vizier pool was.
It is where you were. It's already on your
That's
map.
where we're headed.
That's
Yeah.
where we're heading. We already have that marked. Hadrian associates that with the map and goes, flips it a bit. Mm-hmm. That way.
Okay, I more meant like direction.
No,
North, south.
northeast.
It'd be north, I suppose.
No. Yes.
North.
Yeah, northeastern.
Northwest, to be precise.
Oh, west. West.
And Castle Ravenloth's in the southwest. Ah.
The map's wrong.
Or is the sign wrong?
It
Well,
says
the
that's
signs
the
are-
road there. If you look at you have
Oh,
already had your
yeah.
roads linked. Roads drawn on your map, and you can understand that that road leads to many places, not just directly southwest.
Favor the road, traveled by few, unless you're in Barovia, in which case, fuck.
All maps are correct. It just depends on your perspective of where you wish to go.
That is the smartest thing you've ever said, Juju.
I have flashbacks from my past, such as He who walk arrive.
I'm sorry, Curls, I just saw the I'm the one with the trident tweet. God damn it.
Don't interrupt Spook's comedy gold with my
Thanks, girls.
Don't bring my Twitter into this.
Ring.
Don't you bring my Twitter into this? Well, unless we wish to take place on the gallows, we should pick a direction.
Let us follow the Vizier pool. If I'm correct, she said that's the way over to the camp where they have some sort of seer, I think she said. Am I right in hearing?
Fortune teller.
Yeah, she spoke of a fortune
Tomato,
teller, Madame
tomato.
Eva.
I have no idea who this is. But let's hope that this is all going to work out amicably. So then, let's go towards the Vizier pool.
We would not go there anyway, because.
Oh god, he caught someone!
Crow's
It's not me this time.
Oh no!
Look at his face!
He's fucking
Second time in the same day with two different DMs that Kay's been pulled into DMs.
Oh, it's a bad day.
Mordecai bolts. Run, bitch! Run!
Mordecai's fucking dead.
Do you reckon his next character will fly as well?
It's gonna be an Arakocra.
You'll float too.
He'll be pretty
so-
fly for a white guy.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Georgie.
And that's how Regina George died.
Well,
What the fuck?
You all
I'm very super.
suddenly noticed at the gallows, as you were talking distracted, an unfamiliar body.
Now, when you say body, is it
It is
in?
humanoid.
Is it in a horizontal position?
It is hanging from the gallows by the neck.
Was that there before?
I poke
I
it.
don't remember seeing this.
Mordecai, did you see anything at the gallows before?
What do you poke it with?
It's a very important question.
10-foot pole! 10-foot pole!
Hey! I poke it with my halberd because I have a 10-foot pole!
Hey!
Basic dungeoning equipment.
You poke it with your halberd, and suddenly the body rapidly melts away into nothing.
Whose face was on it?
I grab the nearest
it-
leg.
You
Probably
saw you saw an unfamiliar face. It appeared to be human in
Mordecai, what do you make of this?
We need to move on.
Do you do that to everything you poke with that? Because that could be very useful.
No, this is the first time that's ever happened.
Let's hope it's a consistent thing. It will help dealing with the threats of this
Here, let me
place.
poke you.
No, please don't. No, don't do the pokey.
Are
If you
we
feel we should move Mordecai, then
the fucking Grandmaster stick from Thor Ragnarok?
I start walking off in the other direction, like towards the pool.
The pool.
I will follow.
Okay.
I keep trying to move that way. It's like I'm on a treadmill.
You move up the road a bit and you start heading in between the trees. And that cawing you heard earlier starts to get a bit louder. It's- exactly. It seems you've disturbed some of the local residents.
We were told not to harm birds, weren't we?
Yes.
What if we're hungry?
No.
You not hungry, little one?
No.
She's had her good berry. Unlike somebody, she eats her breakfast.
I mean, it's not meat, it's a berry, so...
It
And
worked.
Would you like a piece of deer?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. His narrow was going down like this whenever Sarah talks. Like,
It's accurate.
I pull out a leg of deer. Here, have a piece. It's not cooked.
Oh,
Nah.
so raw.
Suddenly, as you pull
How
out
do you...
as you pull out
You
the
fool!
meat, I would have you all roll initiative.
Yay!
Fuck.
What
What
we've got
have
no
you
tokens,
done?
so we want
I need tokens to click on.
Yeah.
Place yourself on the map.
And we're in the void.
It's all black.
I
Aha.
will have to put up the turn order, and I will reveal.
I
that
think we
in
gotta
a
be
sec.
put on it first. I just moved myself on it, did I?
Might have,
I
but
will
it's
reveal
black, so we don't know where it
in a
is.
sec.
You've already died.
The SpongeBob meme intensifies.
Suddenly, you have died comes up. Rest in peace.
You died.
Oh Jesus.
Okay.
I think the very accurate description is the scene from Whose Line Is It Anyway, where there's one guy in the back and the other guy in the front, like, just, oh!
How did I roll a freaking 18? Jesus.
I try to make
Somebody's
it, an
tokens aren't the right
appropriate
size.
Whoopsie daisy. I don't know how to fix that.
How do you?
We can't, only the DM
yeah.
can.
Apologies.
Fucking jam. Fucking jam.
The funny thing
All
is,
calling me out by
The
having
one-
better music.
hey, look,
Oh, there we go. You can drag it from the other toolbar. There we go. I got it.
yeah, you're still too big though, right?
Yeah, still too big.
I might as well get resized.
I may be playing a different character, but I still can't roll higher than 10 on initiative.
You're born to cleric.
It's so true.
Right, so I imagine we're all fairly close to each other.
I have a produce flame. Ready to huck it at a bitch.
Oh, apologies. Mine was an 18 because I deleted the token. There you go.
Yeah, we'd all
Oh,
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd be a bit closer to each other because we're walking down a road together.
That is weird. We can no longer fast travel. Why is that? Oh
Not rest while enemies are nearby.
I was about to say that, damn it.
Same cluster.
no. Anyone else seen that 1940s movie? The one with the birds?
What's the movie?
That's the 1940s. Year 428. What year are you in?
It resets every 2000, so this was a while back.
Wait, how old are you?
400.
So by that stance, if we reset the years back to 0 every 2000, it worked out.
I feel less bad about calling you Gramps now.
Oh yeah, no, he's old as shit.
He's
He's
old.
literally 100 times older than...
Storm of Ravens.
Some classic ravens.
Hello.
I'm trying to remember how to add them to the initiative table, but they don't want to seem to.
It's fine, as long as you rolled and you know it, it's all fine.
If
Take it off to
you
me.
I got it.
right click, if you got a token for them, right click it, give them a turn, and then just input whatever number.
Excuse me.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
It's cool. Roll 20.
Hey, man, you're fine.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Gives me time to work out what the fuck I'm gonna do.
I'm drunk, so I'm experiencing everything at halftime, so you're alright.
He's got haste cast on him or slow. I don't know which is.
Very well. The swarm of ravens all begin to descend down upon you. However,
Nice.
Mordecai seems to be a bit extra alert at the moment for some reason.
Must be the gay pie.
Yeah, definitely.
That I ate.
The fumes from it have affected him.
Okay, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna follow Spook's note and run the fuck away. No, I'll.
He's gonna fly away.
I mean, I feel like it's advisable because even if we have rolled initiative, we were advised not to hurt the birds.
Hey, look, 40 foot, because on the first turn of combat, I get an extra 10 foot movement speed.
Mm.
I'll move there. I'll shoot my bow at these ones here.
Okay, you shoot your bow into the mass swarm of ravens descending down upon your party.
Bloop.
24, that is very much a hit. Now roll for damage.
Okay, so there's some shit that I've got to do as well. So there's normal damage. Then there is work out how this works.
Which one is it? Colossus Slayer?
No, Dread Ambusher. I'm a good
Oh yeah.
So because it's my first turn in combat, I can
You
then
said
make
a whole bunch of words there.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think
make
it's a
level
secondary
that.
attack.
I can make a second attack basically,
I
yeah.
think.
Which deals an
Nice.
extra 1d8 if it hits. So another attack that misses, so it doesn't do shit.
Excellent
Right.
work.
I assume a 9 misses.
Very Yes, your second attack does not quite land it. But however, you are quick on your feet and fast react to these ravens. You run and you slowly wait, slowly waiting for time to just see if you can hit as many of them as possible with one arrow. And you let loose, and 1 raven, 2 raven, 3 raven, and you clip another. A bunch of the ravens panic a little as you take down several of their number. But the swarm still stands. Well, flies. Is that all you do for your turn?
It is, yes.
Excellent. It is now the raven's turn.
Uh-oh.
Okay, first, it seems they're heading exactly where the deer meat is.
Would you like some deer meat?
I mean, they probably would.
They all swarm around you, my friend.
Hello.
Now, I'm going to go right, bottom right, upper right, and then lower.
Don't go for the eyes. We need that.
Miss.
That's a miss. Excellent. The second lot dive bomb you as well.
That's a hit. Okay.
Yep, you manage to take most of them to your scaly hide on the first lot, but the second lot starts picking at some of your more the smaller
Not the belly.
swarm.
Not the belly.
Not the
Now
belly
the smaller
button!
swarm tries to add 2 injury.
That definitely hits. So cool. Okay.
I have an idea. Throw.
And yes, it also hits, and they also start pulling away at your scales quite ferociously. And that is the end of the Raven's turn, but you now get to react to these nasty little flying bugs.
So I take the meat that's in my hand this deer leg and just
Yep.
chuck it.
Yep, that's a free action to drop an item.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chuck it this way.
If you want to make it like a full throw with it, it might take an action. But if you want to just
That's
chuck it like 10, what would be 10 feet away, like here, for example, that would be a free action.
Okay, yeah, I'll just chuck it over there.
Yep.
And then, because I'm being attacked, I'm going to go into a rage.
Yep.
And then I'm going to slash at this one with my halberd.
Which one? Sorry, I didn't see.
This one here.
Yep, excellent. Go ahead. You start slashing away at the big swarm with your halberd.
That probably hits, I'm guessing.
Yes, very much.
Damn.
Okay, you slash away and you make a good strong hit, and you take down a bunch of the ravens, but you feel like it's a bit tricky because they're sort of in number rather than one individual, so as you're patching them away, it's just a little tricky. It's not exactly an area effect thing, but you are doing a sizable chunk of damage to them all the same.
Oh, and then also, because this is the first creature I hit, it actually also is supposed to take an extra d6.
Roll that d6.
Plus half your
Because you
barbarian.
are a badass.
Okay, so a d6 plus half your barbarian level, which is, I think it's just 1. So,
And
with that
swing
it-
again, and you manage to pull down yet another bird, but there's still a few in this flock. Although it seems certainly less than half of what was there. Excellent. Very well. Now it is a time
turn.
for our samurai to attempt to quell these bloodthirsty flying.
I remember we were told not to harm the ravens. I'm gonna take out my sword and my shield, and I'm just gonna start banging my sword against my shield and just trying to scare them off in some way.
Excellent. Roll an intimidation check.
I was afraid you were gonna say that.
How dare you ask me to do a roll for the thing I'm doing?
In this dice-based game.
Ah, the fuck!
No.
Fuck, it came close.
Okay.
You look at the birds, and you see their beaks now full of bits of bloody lizard, and they seem to have lost interest in said deer leg, and have now had a taste for something a bit more hard on the outside.
Was that my action today?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Shit. I shall
You
use
can
my
still move it.
yeah. I shall use my bonus action then to use one of my fighting spirits.
Yep.
Which gives me 5 temporary hit points.
Mhm.
So drop that down. I have advantage on attack rolls, but I'm going to use this and I'm going to pull back to here, just to be in the middle of people.
Alright, you understand you provoke an attack of opportunity doing that?
That's why I took some temp hit points.
Excellent. Well, the birds see
Technique.
you moving and suddenly take a bit of an interest in you, and they start to swoop at your scalp, trying to pluck out bits of your hair.
Miss.
Unfortunately, although they pull maybe a strand or two, nothing to do any real damage. Okay, and now it is time for our Littlest member to try and get rid of these flat.
Oh god damn, it's big. Sorry. I didn't
What? I think you just stood in the way of her.
Blocking you.
So Sarah, being a 4-year-old, 2-foot-tall kobold, is going to take the disengage action and just go, ah! Ah! Hide! And that's all she does.
Excellent. Now, Hadrian has fortunately helped me with a bit of this, and he's going to change shape. Describe that for him.
So, firstly, I'm going to use my bonus action and perform Healing Spirit, and I'm going to place it right here. It's going to take the form. Actually, no, excuse me. It's going to take the form right here of a brown bear sitting.
The bear!
It's like the fucking forest spirit from Avatar.
Oh god.
Behold the bear, motherfucker!
Hadrian, hold my bear.
We need acorns ASAP.
So, to explain, I put down the Healing Spirit and it takes the form of a bear. And in that moment, Hadrian leaps through the spirit, does nothing for him, but anyone who enters this spirit or starts their turn it will heal for 1d6. So, once he does this, Hadrian will leap towards the other side, take the form of a brown bear. I don't have control of it yet, Nemo. And because it's still using my my mental stats, so my charisma and so on, I am going to get up on my hind legs as a bear and roar as loud as I can to try and intimidate off these birds, because suddenly they're gonna go, oh look, meet, oh shit, bear, is what I am hoping. So for the sake of ease, I'm just going to move myself down here, Nemo. Just Hadrian's token, just down to here out of the way. So currently, just so I'm still on the initiative. So I'm going to make an intimidation check as myself, changing in and going...
That's fair.
That's bear.
Better than I did.
Okay, let's make some wisdom roll.
He just gets up on the hind legs, probably was already 8 foot tall, is probably now closer to 12 foot tall on its hind legs, just... So essentially, it's right next to his space is where the Healing Spirit is.
Now we're going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Suddenly bear!
You're now deaf.
One of the Raven group scatters, and all the other Raven group sort of looks like it's going to back off a bit, but then inevitably scatters. This is both of the injured parties, but the other group still feels brave and fervorous to eat the living.
Why are you so
I'm
tasty?
afraid
That's my
that is your action, yeah. It is now Marin's turn.
Marin looks like she goes to do about 6 things, and then something happens, and she just goes... tries to work out something else. As one by one, every plan she has... has to be changed. I need to put post-it note on my wall with just what would Marin do.
Be a bitch.
I'm Eldritch Blast in case one of them attacks me.
You do what, sorry?
I hold Eldritch Blast for if one of them attacks me.
Okay.
Smart.
Sorry, I was setting up so this will be more handy in the future. You now have Brown Bear under your characters in beast. Now back to the top of the round, it's Mordecai.
Oh, nope. Just so I can get a better view on these ravens, I'll fly up 10 foot and maybe across a little bit, just so I can see down on this little swarm.
Yep, so you don't have to try and shoot through your friends. Good idea.
Yeah, well, friends. I'll take a shot.
Unfortunate colleagues.
Very well, go ahead, make your... Oh, that is very much a hit.
Guess I'll die.
Oh, yes, and you take down several of the ravens in this, and they are blood fury and they're blood fervid and furious. They still are quite eager to eat poor lizard man.
That is my turn. Oh, that icon's real big.
I think this map's just real small.
Thrak, use your action to be less
Both is good.
tasty.
Alright, the Raven.
I don't think I could do that.
They'll seem quite eager to just keep on eating what's good fit. But they have noticed the big bear behind them, so I'm going to say, with the intimidation and how they're going, they're actually going to make this attack with disadvantage. I'm
I'm a bear, I'm helping.
Nope, eyes dropped.
Has K dropped, or has K just turned his camera off for a second?
Don't know.
I'm sure we'll find out in a bit.
So it's gone anyway, so hey.
They're going to lash out at the poor lizard, but this is with disadvantage.
He'd miss.
They miss. They try and peck and pluck at you, but you're ready for this now depleted swarm. It is now your turn to have at them.
I stab at thee with my Haverwitch again.
Go ahead.
That very much misses.
Yes, that misses. They flap around and you hit nothing but the very tips of feathers.
I was about to say, does he unintentionally hit me?
No, he does not.
Swing, wink! Oh.
I believe you have more attack.
No.
Don't have 2 attacks at level 3?
Nope.
No, that's only Berserk.
Level 5.
My bad. Very well. Now it is our samurai's turn, who has so far very bravely run away.
I am an abject coward. I'm just simply gonna hold an action for if somebody goes aiming towards Mordecai.
Very well. You hold and ready a melee attacker.
Yeah, sword attack. Sword swing.
Excellent. It is now time for our littlest member to go once again.
I feel like fighting these is a very terrible idea.
Now?
Sarah is gonna do a patient defense. Actually, no.
Alright, I
Actually, no.
believe that costs-
I don't need to do
You
that
can just use
because
the dodge.
I'm just going to take the dodge action because I'm not going to use my action to do anything. So I'm just taking the dodge action. I'm not going to
Very
do
well.
anything.
You are prepared and you've got a good eye on these blood-crazed birds and are ready to roll out of the way if they start swooping.
Making myself look even smaller.
Now it is time for Big Daddy Bear.
I clear my throat. Do it again.
You try intimidation again. You have already roared once at these things and they weren't impressed, so I'll say you're going to have to do this with disadvantage if you do intend to go ahead with that.
Is he gonna be a big scary boy?
It's up to you, I'll let you... Okay, let's see how they...
Could roll it.
No, they are they are quite in a fever. They want this, and this food, living or not, they want it. There's something unnatural about these birds. You know this as a druid.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
What I'm going to do is, I'm going to drop bear form back to Hadron, and I'm going to say, because I can with speech of beast communicate limitedly with beasts and animals, flee or die. Because I
Alright.
doubt I can do that as a bear. I just go brr 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 brr.
Is that the end of your turn?
And that will be the end of my turn. As I point at our beloved Thrak, and I point at the bear that's glowing, that's right next to us. Essentially, the glowing bear is right here.
Yep.
That's your
Okay.
healing bear.
Now, you can, Marin, you haven't had the chance to let loose your Eldritch Bolt, but it is now your turn.
That's absolutely fine. I'm trying to really...
Wave is currently in trident form, and he looks ready to go.
Fuck. Leave it. Actually, someone here might know. My weird warlock thing where I can talk to telepathically, that's only to other people?
Probably humanoids.
I think it's anything that shares a language with you.
That makes sense, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's-
and
actually-
spirits won't
We're
share
gonna
language
go with-
it. You can actually pick up an ability that lets you speak to animals, but you do not.
Yes, I
Yeah.
What
do.
is it? What is it? Invocation?
Nope,
Or
it's just a thing I get.
from your patron, or
Telepathic. She can speak telepathically, automatically, but she can pick up an evocation, speak to animals. You
away
Yes,
from
correct.
Are you,
Awaken mind is it?
Starting for it's your great old one, right?
any creature?
Yeah, you can telepathically
Any
speak to
creature?
any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand your telepathic utterances,
But it
the
does need to
creature
have
must
a
be
language.
able to understand at least one
Yes.
language.
That's what I
Okay.
needed to check. So I'm going to
Yes,
do
that's
the
why
same
I was
thing.
pointing out the evocation for animals. You can also
Yes,
have one for
that's
speaking
absolutely
to dead.
We
can.
also can't telepathically reply. It's not like a message spell.
Yeah.
Just for me to rip
No,
your minds.
it does seem that you can talk to her now telepathically through waves.
Wave.
Yeah.
Although
Not part of the
that's
plan was you talking back to my sassy remarks in your brain. Anyway, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I'm going to hold Eldritch Blast for if.
In case I attack you, okay. Now it is time for Krauser. Do we have a Krauser?
Yo,
Excellent.
what's fuck?
It is your turn
Again.
once more.
Again. Am I the only one doing damage to these birds?
Oh yeah, whatever
what-
curse there is for hitting them, you're fucked. We're fine.
We were literally told not to hurt birds.
You and the lizard have been quite readily. Yes, that is quite a. That's a.
They came for my meat, so I
sure.
had to get rid of them.
So
You we
that-
can get. You were self-defense. He Han
You
Solo.
pierce many more, and it's gone to the point where there are very few birds left in the swarm, but they are getting angry.
I'm
Alright.
gonna fly another 10 foot up and back a little bit.
All right. The ravens, on the other hand, are not going to let go of the quarry, and they are going to, in fact, land on top of him and just start pecking away the best they can. See if they can pierce more of the scales. I'm thinking they don't pierce those scales whatsoever. Your AC
Uh,
is
If it's with the 13, no, it
Yes.
does not hit me.
no, they do not manage to pierce your scales, but they are now currently sharing a space,
Oh dear.
which
That
is
doesn't
an
sound good.
ability of a swarm. You are free to attack with them, of course, in melee with no disadvantage.
Okay. I am going to. Slash at them again. God damn it.
You slash, but unfortunately, with their close proximity, you do not seem to be able to land on top of land a blow with your being quite a long weapon. It is a bit tricky.
God damn
Perhaps
birds.
next time. It is now the samurai's turn.
Nah.
Well, you do get movement if you so wish, but and you won't attack provoke attack of opportunity unless you leave their range. So you could move into that healing area, for example.
Yeah, I'll move into the healing area.
Yep.
And I get a roll a d6 then.
Yes.
The bear decrees you heal for 3.
Okay.
Just the bare necessities.
The simple bare necessities.
Forget
Boom,
about
boom, boom.
your
Forget
worries
about
that
your worries
you're birds.
and your right. It is now the samurai's turn.
Nah, I do not like this. I do not want to attack, I only want to defend.
You can do
None of this helps me win!
Nani?
Naughty the fuck.
Get out a torch and frighten them off.
That is not a bad idea, actually. I shall do such a thing. I'm gonna move forwards and I'm gonna light up one of my torches then and just start waving it around like a frantic lunatic.
Okay, roll an intimidation.
Like.
He's not frantic, he's just a lunatic.
Go intimidation check or fail.
Hey!
He goes full Aragon atop fucking.
And suddenly Das is kicked from
I
the channel
would-
for dabbing.
yeah. No, the last of the ravens flutter off, not willing to risk their lower numbers against the flame.
Mighty druid, where did you learn such a trick to fear animals with fire? Please teach me your ways.
I will gladly teach you how to deal with animals. I do it on a day-to-day basis.
I will now be known as Yotota, Lord of the Flame.
That is a good title. And Hadrian just holds Throgn says, just stay in there for like 5 more minutes.
No.
You now sit amongst a load of dead ravens.
I eat a raven.
No, don't eat them. Okay.
Yep, this is
Can we say that? Can we say that he heals to full just by standing in healing spirit because it lasts a minute?
How long does it last?
1 minute.
It's already had rounds, and how much does it heal per round?
1d6.
1d6. So roll 4d6, and that's how much you hit.
I would recommend we don't hang around here too long if we can help it.
That's a good idea.
Not a bad idea.
These ravens taste pretty good.
I'm just gonna pull any arrows that I can recover.
Bit
Roll
bonus.
4d6.
Do you mind if I have a quick look around and see if it looks like we're being encroached upon?
Now remember, everyone, we were told
Perception
not
check.
to kill
The healer probably wants to roll the 4d6, yes?
Oh, sorry. I'll roll the 46. Sorry.
Yes.
Excuse me.
You are excused.
Thank you. Nice. Good rolls.
Heal 16 health before the healing effect fades.
It's just the bear just stood there for like 4 more turns, going blam, 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 just licking him.
Just licking him along the face.
Technically, it should have been 8d6 because it was.
In the intensity of the fight and its initial radiance blinding out into the darkness, even though it is the middle of the day with the trees and the fog, it does get quite dark in this place. But you look at this thing licking you, and as you look at close and all your eyes adjust, you noticed this bear being is rather thin, rather very, very thin, rather skeletal, in fact. Bits of flesh seem to be dripping off this otherwise radiant creature who is licking you with half of its jaw missing. But soon the spell fades and the bear is...
It usually is just a bear.
Oh yes, you know this well, that is normally just a bear.
That's usually just a bear. I don't like that anymore. Although it is powerful, so if you need to be healed, just close your eyes and let it happen.
Well, I will say we were warned that hurting ravens will bring ill fortune.
Thankfully, only 2 of us have done so.
I mean, what did you want us to do? Just sit there and get pecked to death?
It was in self-defense.
Right.
I feel like the creatures that inhabit this place will not look at it as only 2 of us.
That is true.
We
But
should move on
usually-
to the next village.
Our fortunes
usually-
have all been poor enough to bring us here, so how bad can it get?
I do not
Why
like
did
it
you
when
have
ask
to
that
say
question.
those words? Why did you have to set the challenge for this
Surely
world?
it can't get any worse.
Stop saying those words!
You said this when we fought those trolls.
Well, it's also not raining yet.
Fought trolls.
That's good.
Suddenly, and without warning, suddenly and without warning, one of you steps on a twig and it makes an awfully loud cracking noise.
God damn it, Nemo.
Oops.
Who did that? Who's that twig?
My
I
bad.
cling to the nearest leg, which I believe is Marin's.
Get off!
You can, don't worry, just, and like Hadrian leans over with the leg that didn't break the twig, just, yep, on to this one.
So heavy for it.
Let's move very quickly.
Let's go. And
We carry on.
You do carry on until eventually you get to the Tsar encampment. The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisty, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the coming and going of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far away. There is a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several 100 feet across. 5 colourful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake. Its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. The footpath continues beyond this encampment, rendering north between the river and the forest edge.
Well, this looks nice.
People.
It's in a very dark world.
Yeah.
What are the colors of these kind of tents?
Have a look for yourself.
They're tent coloured.
Adding terrifying things that Nemo can say casually. I think this is the background music for the Cirque du Freak.
Charles, you have
Shout
a
out
new
to anyone who's
mysterious
read those
jazz.
books.
Yes, you got a mysterious jazz to find.
Shall we make ourselves known to the encampment?
Go ahead.
I don't see why not.
Most of them seem to be singing and dancing around the fire in the middle.
I think it's better that we treat everything here with mild suspicion.
Mild suspicion, but let's be polite.
That's exactly what I'm doing for you, man.
Probably wise.
Probably.
Hail!
Hello!
Hail, traveller! And a pretty young Vistani lass grabs you by the hand and starts twirling you around as there's singing and dancing.
Please tell me you say, okay, yeah, bye. I was about to say, she tries to pull Hadrian, it's like trying to pull a log.
And that's how Juju died.
As more of them seem to notice your group, they all let out a big hearty cheer.
This was not the welcome I was expecting or hoping for.
A pleasant surprise for you, my friend.
The scenario
The music
and
starts to
yeah,
the
scenario
music
and
starts to
background music is
die
great.
down as the musicians as well start greeting you and waving you over, say, "Come, come."
If we were in a Disney movie, this is where a song would begin. But it
do
would
not
be
like
s-
singing.
it would be
Oh,
slightly unnerving.
no.
Yeah.
Friends on the other side.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yes!
There's like
Yeah.
6 you can go for. There's the one from Peter Pan. You can go for 1,000.
They seem to be taking a break from the music now that you're coming, and they're breaking off in different directions.
Someone just started
Some
to
of them
sing.
seem to be going to have a pee in the bushes. You often drink of some watered down wine, and yeah.
We found a
No,
British festival.
I go to the.
It seems an older
Sounds
gent
like
is
a
sitting
sick
down, and
rap
some of the
beat,
younger
what
ones.
this sounds like.
One of the older gents are sat down near the fire, and the little kids are still sat near the fire, and they're talking to the old.
I'm gonna try and be as non-awkward as I can be. Are they
I
all
think you have to roll
humans?
for that.
Deception check.
It depends on what you're doing. You'd have to be a bit more than I'll try not to be awkward.
I'm trying to blend in.
This fucking hobgoblin.
They
blending
don't
in.
seem to
That's,
care whether you blend in or not. They're all very colourful and bright, and they seem to have no concern of how you look. They just seem happy to have.
Oh dear God.
I'll just put one hand on
Chevron.
on the shoulder. Just like, stand still, please.
Alright, I'll start.
One of the little kids sees you and waves you over to come sit in front of the old.
I follow her.
How can you people be so happy and merry in a place that is so miserable and dark?
Hmm.
We're happy wherever we go, friend, says one of the gents as he's passing. And the little kids are like, tell us another story!
Story?
I was nearly consumed by furniture.
I watched my parents get killed by a monster. Enjoy.
The old man says,
Jesus.
story!
Thordak's religious, apparently. Thordak Thrak, wow.
Thordak, the Sith.
You don't know how many people have a Thor as like the start of their name with like a cat at the end, and I just go, I got Thorgot, I've got Thrak.
But you see,
the
I
wizard
attack
looks up at
and
you.
I snack.
And
The wizard looks up at you, Hadron, saying that you seem to be shadowing the little one, and just sort of looks at you as if asking for approval to regale the children. Well, at least your
Gives a
child with
nod.
a story.
This is my
He
little
says-
Sarah. Everyone say hello.
All right, I don't
Hello.
have many stories, but let's see. I know one. This is from this land, and I think it might interest some of the older folks in the group as well, actually. And some of the other older Vistani are just on the eyes like, this one again. I already know it. But he seems to be
I just
more
like
referring to
wave for half the group that isn't there and
They-
just like, get your asses
all the
over
adults have
here.
probably heard this a million times before, but they're just happily chatting. All right. Well, a mighty wizard came to this land. Over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you are standing, and he points at you, Marin. A very charismatic man. He was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the Devil's Strahd. And all the kids are like, ooh!
Ooh.
He stirred them through the thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to the precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes, I did. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the Devil's Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body, to see if, he had anything of value. But the river Ivlis had already taken and spirited him away. And the kids are all like clapping and applauding at the story. And as the
Hadrian's
story
hand on
ends,
Indeed.
some music starts up again, and they're starting to dance and whatnot.
I join in with the music using my lute.
You play a lute.
Yes, I do.
I played the
It's
drums.
narrowing.
Some of the people playing the accordion and whatnot wave you over and say, "Come on, and trying to get you to stand with the band, and they're all playing their instruments quite.
Okay. Should I roll?
Yeah, roll a performance check. Why not?
Okay.
Or should he roll the actual instrument check, perhaps? If he has it.
It'd be
I
the
do
same.
have it in my tools.
It'd be the same. The same
basically the
number.
same
It's
roll.
the same.
Could be proficiency plus charisma.
He's proficient in the performance with the instrument.
Yeah. Okay.
Sarah can play the drums, but she has no drums.
I'm good at playing the
For-
music.
I play 11.
Passable.
Wait, there's no modifier on that.
With the
So I'm not very charismatic.
I like that you had a moment where you were like, no, this can't be.
He's the barbarian!
you would still
No,
have.
I'm not a bard. I'm a barbarian.
You'd still have proficiency because this is a musical instrument. So what's your proficiency back? I wouldn't say normally you have, but in this case, I'm giving you proficiency.
2.
And this is
So
where he
it's
tells
a
you his charisma's -2.
No, actually, I have no minus.
Oh, okay.
It's good. It's not a bad song. It's not great, but particularly to these drunken layabouts, it's certainly good. You're not missing any major notes or anything. You're not blowing anyone's socks off, but you're doing a good job.
You keep him beat.
Play a rousing tune.
Fucking, oh fuck. Just trying to think of this song. Fucking, Tribute by Tenacious D. This is not the greatest song in the world. This is just a tribute.
Mordecai plays your devil.
Play me a song, write a song.
That's racist.
Just
Hang
have
on.
a-
Play me a song.
That's also racist.
that's a little bit more racist, I'd say.
Oh, actually,
Moving on.
Domo arigato.
Why have you all chosen here to camp? Surely it
This is a
safer
common
in one
camp
of
for
the
the
towns.
Stani, one of the girls. You're noticing a wide variety of accents from these people. You very much can tell these are travelling folk, and although they're all Vistani by blood, some of them have stayed in some places and have picked up certain accent traits from many of them.
Alright, mate, we're all from Aussie.
Anyone
we're
that's
all
been
from
the
down under, mate.
You don't hear anyone from the Underdark.
There were no draw present.
Who resides in the big tent?
You'll be talking about Matt and Eva. Yeah, you won't be getting her for. You won't be getting her for.
Madam Eva, we have heard that name from a traveller not too long ago.
She was one of your own, if I am correct. She played a very friendly game of coin with little one here. Kind enough to give her a plan.
I imagine she didn't put any wager any money, or because she plays rig games. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, no, Vale was her name, she said.
Yes.
But it was all in very good spirit. It was the coin game. Sarah decided to reach for the best coin first. And she was like, I like that idea, that was clever, and it just let her
I
have a
remember a man
platinum.
tried that once. He got his hand cut off.
Well, Sarah did a
Really
lot
lucky
better
you
than
did.
him. To be fair, look at that cute little face. How
Oh,
good.
she's adorable little.
Punt.
No!
All he does
Yes,
is he just mutters the word punt under his breath.
We're very lucky to have Mad and Eva here. She we can tell fortune. She never, of course, the curse of the Vistani fortune tellers. There have been few of us over the years, but the curse, of course, is they can never tell their own fortune, or a Vistani fortune for that matter. But you lot would do well to see her and see what you find out.
We wouldn't be disturbing her, would we?
Oh no, of course not. We welcome all.
Hadrian, create some good berries. I'm gonna give her some good berries.
I'm sure she'll much appreciate a free meal.
I give Sarah a good berry.
And to the word of free meal, a whole bunch of people cheer. Like, "Ah!" Everyone likes a
There's
free
about
meal.
9 more here. I have a few more I can
To
make.
food!
Food! You know what Hadrian's gonna
Yeah,
do?
it's
3
definitely
spell
that
slots.
sounds like a fucking group of drunks. Free food! Yeah!
Yeah.
They're not asking for it, but they're just, they're raising a beer to free food. And then
Actually,
somebody
that's what
else says,
Hadrian's gonna
free
do.
women! Yeah! And one of them gets
Free
smacked down the
brides.
back of the head. Jestingly.
It's like going to Woodstock.
Hadrian's gonna do 2 spell
What's that?
slots and do 2 good berries. Essentially, just 20 good berries just gonna be left for this group. Like,
There you go.
They seem to know what good berries are. They're quite familiar with them, and they quite happily take them. Some of them seem to be holding on to theirs for a little bit because they seem to have been eating and drinking recently, and they know a good berry will fill them a day's worth, so they don't want to upset their tummy too much.
Well, it'll last for a full day, and it'll be nice and fresh, so I hope you enjoy it whenever you choose. if you don't mind, we might actually go now and speak to the wonderful madam that you referred.
Um,
I'm gonna go take a dip in the water.
Blog is like, yeah, get going before these roustabouts give you more.
This is the warmest reception I've ever received. This was quite.
Yes.
Keep
They
your wits
apparently are
about you.
familiar with blocks. You don't know if they're familiar with the rest of your species, but you get the feeling that they don't seem to be disturbed by your monstrous visage in any way, manner, or form. These people are very well.
Actually, Hayden's gonna make a general insight check to be like, yes, go into the tent and die. You know, like,
definitely.
yes,
Roll an
go
insight
into the.
check.
Seeing that I'm
Thank you for
a
beating me to it.
Yes.
They all
With
want
your
you to die.
insight, with your insight, you know she is, although she's jovial, she is serious about the value of this fortune telling, and she speaks about the woman with quite a lot of reverence. There is no deception in what she says.
being that I'm a lizard man and I miss the swamp, I'm going to go take a bath. Because I need water on my skin.
Sits in the water and farts like Shrek.
Yes.
Just watch the
7 dead
breath.
fish that were already dead rise up.
Aaron is not going in the water.
Not that water.
I shall head.
She goes in the water
I'm just gonna sit in
upstream.
there, kind of like a fucking crocodile, just nose just above the the water surface.
It's
Yes.
for the town.
One of the horses that are standing at the river edge lick you on the head.
Why he lick me?
I am very.
Don't say
I am-
salty.
I am very much a creature that could kill you, horse. Do not lick me.
You just hear
Another horse
Hadrian
comes
shout-
up and another horse comes up and licks you. They seem to like him.
Have you ever
They
worked,
all-
you ever worked with horses? That's what they're like.
if you swim out of it, they stop licking you, but they seem to like the sensation of your scales on their tongue.
They just hear Hadrian's voice. Everyone else just hears, but they all hear, "Keep licking him. Just be careful of it."
I shall head to talk to this Madam Eva.
I'm going with.
You all go into the tent.
I'm gonna wait outside.
Let's all enter the. Flock, do you want your voice? Your voice? You want your fortune talk?
I thought it said
Magic
poison. I was like,
flame.
what?
All right, let's change the music because
I know what that shit means.
Gather round, children.
Magic
Let me
flame
tell you a tale of how I'm going to fuck you up
cast
later.
a reddish glow over the interior of the tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seems to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last, you've arrived. Cackling laughter bursts like mired lightning from her withered lips. And I do believe I have a picture of her, along with 10 billion other NPCs. Jesus H. Crackers, I forget how big this game is.
Yep, that's how I was in. That's how I was in fucking Storm King's Thunder. You guys literally only saw about 40% of the NPCs.
Jesus.
I'm a very superstitious person.
Anyone
You're an
who-
amnesiac.
Anyone who finds her familiar may recognize through the fact that she has been my background to my profile picture on Twitter for the last, along with Strahd.
Oh yeah, I forgot you made that your banner like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You need a new banner.
Ah.
Hello, Yota Jew. Hello, Marin. Why don't you bring the others in here, and I'll tell your fortunes.
Mordecai, please present yourself.
Fine.
Throck, get out of the water.
I take a bath.
Take a bath later.
Fine.
send a
I'll
telepathic
frostbite
message
to
to say you
death.
should really get in here.
Yeah, I'll head in.
Alright, I go in.
And how are you, little wave? And the your weapon sort of doesn't move. It stays pretending to be a weapon, but you just sort of feel a telepathic.
I thought you were going to say it bows. What?
Your weapon
No,
will.
it doesn't know the person. It's a bit freaked out. It's like, what? Why do you know my name? Who are you?
I send a telepathic message to Wave saying the feeling is mutual.
Can you imagine if you're holding like a weapon and it just does this? It's like, what?
No comment.
That
That was weird because I have a hammer.
It turned into a squid last session. I have no more questions.
So, you've all finally arrived.
How did you know?
I would
we were
ask
coming?
how your travels from Barovia have been, but I already know. Now,
You know, you can make
I
an
read it.
easy guess.
Do not tempt the powers of fate. She can see into the ether. She knows who we are.
oh, don't get so scared. It isn't fortune telling, I'm afraid. It's just word travels fast around here.
Yeah.
Strahd has eyes everywhere, but we have a few of our own.
Hadrian is keeping Sarah
Right.
very close.
Sarah's slightly tugging because she like wants to see better, but she's like, eh.
He lifts her up to his chest, but is straight up just like. You know, it's a great example. I think it was the old Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes cartoons with the very small kitten and the very big dog. It's like that little hand
He's
grab.
just holding her like this, and she's just like, eh.
Is everybody ready? She inquires.
Ready for what?
Yeah, ready for what?
Suddenly, the room goes deathly silent. All the music from outside seems to quell quiet. And darkness, like you've never seen before, seems to engulf everything outside. The crystal ball closes, and she pulls out a deck of cards.
The entire SKT group takes a deep breath.
It's fine. It's fine.
When out of character, you know it's not what you think it is, but in character, he's like,
By the way, I'm tapping my notebook for a reason.
We'll take a quick break there before we start
Oh,
our
damn
reading.
it!
You son of a!
It's gonna have to be a very quick
We'll
break.
see you soon. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
I'm literally gonna run make a cup of tea.
And we're back.
Hi.
Welcome back
Hi.
to Red Play. We are
Welp.
about to have our fortune read by Madam.
Frightened.
I am frightened.
Hello, frightened.
speaks.
I'm Hadrian.
Should I do a fright?
Shut up. She speaks with a voice not her own. You are all as paralyzed in this moment. You may wish to have your pens ready.
Here we go.
I have a pencil, does that count?
The table shows 5 places for cards to sit in a glowing blue light. 5 cards are arranged in a cross. She prepares to draw the first card. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancients will help you better understand your enemy. Even before she draws the card, she announces its name. The 6 of Swords. The Berserker. Find the Mad Dog's crypt. The treasure lies within, beneath the blackened bones. She slams the card down on the table, and the place seems to quake with reverence. She readies to draw the second card. The first sits on the left. Her gaze now appears to the top of the cross. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. The one of glyphs, the monk. The treasure you seek is hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint. She slams the second card down, and once again the area quakes in reverence. Third card now. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of pure sunlight. The 5 of glyphs, the druid. An evil tree grows atop a hill of graves, with ancient dead sleep. The ravens can help you find it. Look for the treasure there. She slams the card once more, and the room quakes with its reverence once more. The left, the top, and the right of the cross now have their cards sitting in plain sight. The bottom card, she prepares and speaks. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. The Ghost. I see a fallen paladin of a fallen order of knights. He lingers like a ghost in a dead dragon's lair. She slams this card down. This time, the room shakes with a sickening growl, as if it is about to burst. The cross has each of its primary points complete. Only the center remains. As she draws the final card, the room is shaking more and more violently. She speaks, her voice now booming. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose power are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him.
His name is Sir Fluffykins.
The final card falls into place. It is the Executioner. I see a dark figure on a balcony, looking down upon this tortured land with a twisted smile. The room's shaking ever intensifies as reality seems to crumble around you. And then suddenly, you are in a room with an old lady sitting in front of 5 regular playing cards. She scoops them away and puts them back in their deck. The light returns and the music starts filling the tent.
What? What? What was that?
That was my reading, my dear. I trust it was informative.
And harrowing.
Yes. Powerful magics, that I'm afraid.
Well, it has certainly given us some locations to keep in mind.
Yeah.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
I believe we should follow these instructions. The fates are not to be argued with.
Yeah, well,
Remember,
true, yes.
this is only a possible future. You may well fall before you see it pass.
We will do our best to ensure that does not happen.
Very well. Well, thank you for visiting, dearie. And good luck. You may very well need it.
Hadron produces the last good berry he has and leaves it on the table for her.
Marin leaves.
Goodbye.
I walks out as well.
I follow
Fortune
Mordecai.
find you well too.
So it's just like clinging to Hadron.
You leave, the tent curtain closes, and you're outside in an oddly eerie in how juxtaposition it is, in how cheerful and merry everyone is outside.
It's like all sorrow from them is drained and thrown into that room. That was harrowing.
Scary.
But we all saw cards, correct? We all saw 5 cards. We shall use this to our advantage. Perhaps we go to the next town. We inquire about some of these places to see if they... And if we find anything to match these, we do not investigate, but we mark on our maps and we research those areas and then we go back to them perhaps.
I think that sounds like a smart decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeesh.
We seek a house on the hill behind the sun, an evil tree atop a hill of graves, a dead dragon's lair, and I believe the final card requires no introduction.
Indeed. We all know that place. And like I guarantee you we could just look and it's just looming there in the distance like something is about.
It's always silhouetted against the moon.
Once every 100 years, I eat your ass.
I'll break your walls and take a turkey. Okay, well. And Hadrian takes out the map and is just shaking. Lucky is our next stop then. It would be. Let us hurry before it becomes truly dark out.
Yeah, well, quite dark. Now, should we rest here for the night?
It's not even been a few hours, I believe. Perhaps we should keep pace.
It's midday, bizarrely enough.
I would say that if we make a brisk pace, due to how long it has been here, if we keep a brisk pace, we should make it to Vallaki before the sun, whatever essence it gives us, is truly lost tonight.
Let us make for the next bridge and pray there is no ghostly figures at it.
Let us pray there is no ghosts along the way. Hadrian throws out a produce flame as a torch. It's a farewell to the group, and we...
Well, very quickly before we go, maybe we should pick up some supplies. It's probably going to be a long journey. Does anyone...
We all have supplies. I can create good berries. Time is of the essence. Shut up and take them.
I'll do a quick... Is it just very quickly? Is there anyone here, any stall that looks like a market stall, like some sort of trader, or like stall
God, no,
party?
these all look like useless layabouts.
But yeah, fuck
I'm
them.
sure they'll sell you shit, but you know.
Yeah, fuck on, let's go.
You leave the camp and wander off into the distance, and that is where we will leave it tonight. Sleep well, everyone. Pleasant dreams.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
Good night.